Hello everyone, this is the Wise project of a game that I just recently worked on for a game jam. The game is called Additive Annoyances, and just to briefly summarize the premise of the game, you are an office worker and your final task of the day is to send an email to your boss, and right as you're about to do it, your ad block stops working, and now your computer is getting overrun with ads. So the gameplay loop is just to get rid of all the ads in your computer, and while you're doing that, you have to keep track of your boss who's walking around the office, because if he catches you and he realizes that you haven't sent the email yet, then it's game over. And so here, I'm going to just showcase off the music system that I did for the game. Unfortunately, the gameplay isn't like fully polished yet, so I can't show the integration in real time, but hopefully in the future, once the gameplay is more finalized, I can showcase the actual live integration. But for now, let's get into this. So I did everything in this one Switch playlist. It starts off in the menu, which I have split up into 8 different phrases. So what this does is it plays each phrase, and once it reaches the end of this phrase, it goes to the next phrase, so it sounds seamless. But what I can do then is, if I then have it go to menu transition, once it reaches the end of a phrase, it plays menu transition instead. So that also sounds seamless, and you'll see it later once I play it all in the Soundcaster. So then we have menu transition. Menu transition is just the bridge between the menu and the normal gameplay. And you can also see I have a marker in here. That's for programming purposes. My programmer can reference this marker and use it to do stuff in the game. But anyways, after this, it takes you to the normal office playlist. And what I did for this is I actually have 2 layers here. And this layer has an RTPC on it, a real-time parameter control. And what this does is, once you go in the manual, it brings the volume of this layer down. So the volume of the layer the layer fades in or out based on if you're inside the manual or not. And what I also have here is a version of it when you're on the computer. So when you go to the computer, it plays a different, more retro-sounding version of the song. Then another thing that can happen in the game is if you have a lot of ads built up in your computer, it'll start playing glitchy versions of the song. So there's a glitchy office track that also has the same thing of 2 layers for the manual. When you go in and out of the manual, it fades that layer in and out. And there is a glitchy version of the computer track. So all in all, there's 4 different versions of that main gameplay loop track: the normal version, the computer version, the glitchy normal version, and the glitchy computer version. So now what I can do is I can go in the Soundcaster and show off the events. So first event is start game, very simple. Just sets all the parameters. So it resets the paused parameter, because when you pause it, I have some functionality there. It resets this parameter to control the volume of the layer. And it resets this parameter. That's not important for this, that's something to do with SFX. And then it sets the state to the menu state, which is the first state of the game, and it plays all the necessary things that it has to play. So if I do start game, it starts playing the menu. And so now it's going through all the different 8 phrases, but it sounds seamless. And now you'll see, once I hit menu transition, at the end of the phrase, it'll switch over to the menu transition playlist. Now I'm going to switch to normal office. It's going to go to the normal office playlist. And see, it starts you off as in manual. So once you start the game, it'll show you the manual, which gives you the instructions of the game. And then once you're done looking at the manual, once you go out, it will switch to 0, and the layer will come back in. So I'll just showcase it off 1 or 2 more times. Then you could also go to the computer. Back. let's say you have a lot of ads on your screen. So now I'll go to the glitchy version. So it just sounds a little bit more messed up than the normal version. And it has the same thing with the manual, with the layering. And then obviously the last state is the glitchy version, the computer music. And that's all my states. Now I can hit stop game and everything stops. So yeah, that was the Wwise project for Additive Annoyances. Hopefully I can, in the near future, make a video showcasing the live integration and showcase the gameplay as well, and that might help, you know, let you guys see the integration in real time and see the actual effect it has while seeing the gameplay.